Welcome everybody to the Gecko Pod. We are a podcast for the Gecko community where we talk about the hobby of breeding geckos. We talk about business as well. My name is Harry at Zero's Geckos. We have co-host AJ, AGD Reptiles. What's up, AJ? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. And then today we have Tara. we have Tara. It's so good to have you on. It's been a while since we were trying to connect and figure out schedules.
I didn't know what a Gecko was. I didn't even know what a podcast was. That was the whole thing.
No worries. Well, yeah, it's good to finally be able to chat and connect. And yeah, we're super thankful to have you on. So thank you for joining us.
Having me.
Yeah, how's it going? Everything good with you? Breeding season's going well?
Yes. Yep. Very well.
You said you were feeding geckos this morning, so you're up at 6 a.m. feeding geckos.
I've had 200 geckos before this happened.
Nice.
Yeah, that's like. Have you guys known each other a long time? I always ask this. AJ,
I don't think have we ever met, Tara?
No.
Yeah, I don't think we ever have. I know, we've run in the same circles for a really long time, but I guess I never really went to the East Coast, and you haven't been to shows in a long time. So.
No, I went to Tinley, I think, like twice, maybe 2015? No, I don't know. It was a while ago.
There was a couple years in there that I didn't go when I was in college. So it could have been during then. But yeah, no, I mean, I've seen your animals forever. And, we were probably both on Pangea forums at the same time. And
I remember seeing your stuff too.
Yeah, so it's been it's been a long time coming. So it's good to officially meet. And we'll get to meet at Flora Fauna, right?
I was hoping to meet you last time, but you weren't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was a little busy. My wife was having a baby. So.
You had a baby that week.
Yeah. What day was it? Was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, of that week. So
so Tara, you've been around for a long time. When did you start? I actually don't know like how long you've been around. I just know it's a long time because everybody knows your name.
Yeah, I first crested gecko in 2012.
Okay, 2012. So you just started with cresteds and you never ventured into anything else?
So no, I have a long history with like all kinds of animals. But do you want to hear my story?
Yeah, what's the? Sure. Give us the short snippet.
So when I was like 11 or 12, I started with breeding fancy mice. And and then I got my first job at a pet store because I had to get rid of the mice somehow. So they were buying the babies from me. And then I worked there. And then I started breeding fancy parakeets. Like I say fancy, but it's just like, colors and
yeah.
I was selling those. We were calling them Tarakeets. And I had, working at the pet store, I had all kinds of animals. So I had, lizards and all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it. I had it. Snakes, everything. But nothing too crazy. Like I didn't have anything that ate mice or anything like that because I didn't want to feed my mice to the snakes or anything. So, like ribbon snakes and things like that. And then this is why I don't like to do the podcast because I get lost in what I'm talking.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right.
So you worked at the pet store. You had the Tarakeets.
Yes.
What was the next step?
So I had all kinds of animals. I used to like catch lizards out in Florida and bring them home. I had animals and stuff like that. Then I got rid of everything, and I worked at a bird store. And I had birds for a while. So I had like a cockatoo, I had African gray, I had you name it. I mean, I had all kinds of stuff. And then after I had my kids, it was too much. It was way too much. Very stressful. And you know how it is having a baby. Every time the baby would go to sleep, the bird would squawk or something. And like be like this. And it took me forever to get him to sleep. So I was like, I can't do this. I had to get rid of everything. I just couldn't even do it. I was so stressed out.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anything for a while. And then my son was 7 and he asked me if he could have a snake. I was like, I don't know. I mean, like, I was never really into snakes. I was like, but I wanted him to have what he wanted. So we started doing some research. And I'm like, listen, it seems like these snakes, like, all they want to do is hide most of the time. And they're grouchy when they shed. And they don't, like, really want to do it. Like, it's not going to be like a pet you can actually watch and have fun with.
Yeah.
So we got him a bearded dragon. And that's how it started. And I really loved this bearded dragon.
Yeah.
So, and then my other son, like 4 at the time, and he's like, well, I want a lizard. So we got him a leopard gecko. Leopard geckos were a lot smaller. So I was like, and then I got to thinking, because I was really into it. I was like, what if we breed leopard geckos? That's what we're going to do. Like a bunch of leopard geckos. And then I don't like putting stuff together and having it all calculated what I'm going to get. And like the leopard geckos, they had like that Punnett square, like you could, you knew what you were going to get when you paired them together. And that really wasn't what I wanted to do. And during that research of getting more leopard gecko stuff, I found the Pangea forums, stuff like that. And I saw the crested geckos. And I saw how many different kinds there were. And back then, there really actually wasn't as many as there are now.
Yeah, there was like six different things.
Yeah. Oh, but every time you pair them, you don't know what you're gonna get. It was kind of.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, these are really cool. So I had never even felt one or seen one or like in person, nothing. So I ordered one online.
Oh, sweet.
I got a baby. And
who do you order it from?
I got it from Crowned Royal. It was Nicole, right? Her name was Nicole.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got one, and I was like, I was actually a little scared to touch it because I didn't know how fast they were. Like I said, I had never had one. So,
yeah.
Like I don't know. But anyway, I got addicted, and I said, well, I want to breed these. So I started getting like a few more, and I did start with babies mostly. And I did get a few a little bit older from Crown Jewel. It was Erica.
Okay.
Jewel. Yeah, I got a few more.
There's so many similar names back then.
Yeah, so it was Erica from Crown Jewel. I loved her website. Her website was beyond its time. I mean, you clicked on an adult, you saw all the babies that they produced. You click on the baby, you saw their parents and their lineage. Like she had it. It was a good website.
That's cool.
Addicted to it. Anyway, so I bought stuff from her and a few things from Pangea, but they were produced by her. But then anyway, my very first season, I think that was 2013, I think it was 2013 or 14. And so anyway, I had 5 breeding that year and worked out nice. It was funny because that was when that was when fauna classifieds were on there.
Yeah.
And I had my first baby for sale and I didn't know what to do. I didn't but anyway, I was going to figure it out. So I put that baby on the classifieds for like whatever I paid for the mom. It sold within seconds. I'm like,
wow.
Oh,
wow.
Like, wow. Okay, that's cool. So anyway, but I don't know. I got addicted and little by little, I got more and more and made more. And pretty soon you have a house full.
So you started with 5 females.
I did.
Were they, what kind of morphs were they? What?
So my very, very first female was a Halloween extreme Harlequin. And I also a yellow and cream female. I had York was one of my first ones. She's still here.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
that's amazing.
I had her. Trying to think. It's been a while. If I had iHeart pulled up, I could tell you, but I don't.
Yeah.
And I can't think straight being here. Like,
no, you're good.
So after that first year, when you had those 5 females breed and you produced a bunch of babies, did you sell a lot of babies that first year?
I did, yeah. I problem getting rid of them.
Were you just doing online or were you doing shows at that point as well?
Only ever done online until Flora Fauna.
Oh,
Wow, that's crazy. You never did a show.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I just thought you took a break, but you never did them before.
Never done a show. That was my very first show.
Wow, that's crazy. And then, so when you sold all those animals, did you reinvest? You buy more animals? And when did kind of the, I guess your vision for the types of things you wanted to produce and the projects that would, now come to fruition, when did those things kind of start brewing in your mind as far as what you wanted to make and how, what you were going to buy to make those? And
yeah, so some of my first, I loved chowder.
Yeah.
You remember Bing, the bread and cream?
Yep.
Those were the first ones that I had seen online that I was like, oh my God, like these things could be like crazy white and Kick. Do you remember Kick?
I do remember that one. Yeah.
So I saw all that cream on those geckos, and I'm like, this is like that's crazy. Like that stuff wasn't that was like way beyond its time.
Yeah.
So or way before its time, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to make that kind of stuff. So I remember contacting, it was Sadler Reptiles at the time.
Yeah, Steph.
Yeah, she owned Chowder, and
how many times did Chowder change hands? It must. I mean,
well,
so many times.
Where can I find this animal? What does it look like?
And then I think JB's Cresties had him, but that was a breeder loan.
I have an offspring from the breeder loan with JB.
Yeah, and actually, so do I. That's where all the Frozone stuff comes from too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And then Ashley owned him, and I think Cresty King has him now.
Chowder?
I thought he did.
I thought Sam had him. Did Sam sell him to
Sam? I don't think Sam ever.
No, she has Kane. She's Kane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So just is Chowder a high coverage, high white animal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not by today's standards as much, but he was a founding animal for sure of that look, Harry, that would probably be like I don't know, like a medium expression version of like what Tara's got now, or Frost Stuff, or like your ghost animal, like kind of like maybe like a 50% coverage, but similar look.
So that kind of got it. So that kind of threw you, Tara, into the high coverage, high white type of thing stuff.
Cream, like whiter cream.
Creamy. Yeah.
More yellow creams and stuff like that. But this cream was very white, and so was Bing and Kick. Like they were. So when I saw those, I was like, I have to get something from them because I want that lineage in my lines.
Yeah.
So I contacted Sadler Reptiles, and I put Wallflower. That was the only one that she had available. He was like, the funny thing is, like, he was like nothing. I just bought him because I wanted the lines, but that's the only thing she had available. I didn't even really like him. It turned out that he made some awesome stuff for me. You can if you have that in your lineage, a lot of times it doesn't matter if the gecko's that kind of like a low end. You can make high end stuff eventually because it has the lineage in it. So that's what I did. I don't know whether I just got lucky with my pairings or what, but pretty soon I was making creamy stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. So that creamy stuff was kind of the thing that you had your eye set on. And then once you started producing some of that, obviously now you have stuff that is red and cream, stuff that is yellow and cream. You at one point you got super Dalmatians.
Yes.
What was the origin of the super Dals? I'm curious about that.
So,
or the start of the love for the super Dals.
Yeah. So anyway, I think I always really liked the fired down look of the yellow Dalmatians.
Yeah, like what people call white base or pale base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to produce. Well, but at first I was like more into the spots, I think. I wanted the lighter base. I never really was into any of the red base dowels, but I always wanted the lighter base. But anyway, online on Flora, I keep on wanting to say Flora Fauna.
It's on. You got Flora Fauna on the mind.
Fauna Classified, or it could have been Pangea. It was a while ago. But I saw two brother Dalmatians that I absolutely had to have. And I was friends with well, I still am, Sam from Crestopia.
Yeah.
And the guy that had these, he lived in Virginia, and I knew she lived in Virginia. So I was like, I didn't know how close they were, like, you know, but I like, he didn't want to ship. That was the whole thing. He didn't want to ship. I was like, I have to have them. They were beautiful. And they're clean, the clean base and everything with the nice black spots, lots of black spots. And that was Trillion and Oodles. I don't know if you have seen them before in my thing.
Yeah, I've seen the photos. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
So you kept both of them. You kept both the males.
I did. Yeah. Until just like, I don't know, until like maybe a year or two ago.
Wow.
I had them for a while. But anyway, Sam went and picked them up for me. So I felt like,
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she was so sweet. She was like, really, yeah, I've known Sam since the beginning.
Yeah.
Remember, like I couldn't believe when she told me she had 100, and I'm like, you have 100 geckos? Like that's like that's 5 or 6, you know? And I was like, I'm never gonna do that. That's insane. That's crazy. That's a lot of work.
And then the second year you had like 200, and you're like, oh my gosh.
I don't know if it happened that fast, but it built up over the years. I mean, it's been going on for a little while, so I have kind of a lot now.
How many do you have, by the way, currently?
We estimated this because, you know, it's always an ever-changing number.
Yeah.
But we think with babies and everything, and this is including hatchlings and everything from the season, we think we have about 1,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What's your breeding group size? How many did you breed this past season?
The plan is to put like at least 60 females together.
Okay. Got it.
That's manageable. I feel like that's it's a lot, but it's not like unmanageable for one person or 2 people.
2 of us.
Yeah.
That wasn't the number back when my husband, Jim, he helps me so much. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
He is so helpful. And he's trying to like push me a little bit, like out, like a little bit out of my comfort zones, which is why I'm here. Because
thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
He's making, well, not making, I say making, I don't mean.
Jim's in the corner, like, go on the podcast, do it.
Jim is just encouraging you.
He knew if I didn't schedule it, like it just, because I'm always busy. Like I'm all over the place. I work full time. Yeah. I do Geckos full time. And anyway, he's pushing me to do the shows and things like that. So I'm trying to put myself out there. Now he wants me to do reels and be on. And I'm like, I don't know. Like I stick too. Like I was like, all right, if I buy this thing to hold my cell phone, maybe it'll help me.
Yeah.
It'll push me to do it. But I bought it 4 months ago, and I opened it last night. My intentions are good.
Yeah, no, I've got plenty of tech things where I've done that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, like, even with your, not, like putting yourself out there as much, I feel like you already have such an established online following and an established, like your animals are so good that everyone just kind of knows who you are, right?
Yeah, I kind of think about like you and like Emily Burke and a handful of other people where it's like you're almost like these figures that nobody ever sees or meets. You're just like legends.
Legendary.
The funny thing is when I go to the shows now, like I've had people come up and be like, can I take my picture with you? Jim's over there, my husband, he's over there laughing because he's like,
you're famous.
But your picture, I'm like, I think I don't know. I feel funny about it, but I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
But
yeah, all the years of labor in the shadows, now everybody gets to thank you for it. So
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, at Flora Fauna, not everybody did super well, but I remember this past Flora Fauna last year, but everyone was at your table, was at Emily Berg's table, and it was really cool to see kind of people at your table just picking stuff up, and that's where I got one of my Falk Yorks from you, and so it's great. So yeah, it's good to see you out.
Yeah, it's good. You know what? I'm actually enjoying it. I actually like it. Like I'm actually kind of getting addicted to the shows a little bit. Like I like to get out there and like, it's kind of fun. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. Because I was like, why would I want to go out there and spend my weekend like when I sell geckos from my couch? Like I was like, why would I want to do that? But I actually like it.
That's good. Yeah.
I like selling from home too. I'm trying to be more like you, Tara.
Yeah. But the thing of it is, you have to have time to take the pictures, and that doesn't happen all the time. I mean, I used to window lighting for my pictures. Like I had this sliding glass door where the light on overcast days at like 10 a.m. till like noon, it would come in perfect. And I'd have to hurry and take as many pictures as I could. And then the sun would go behind the cloud or whatever. It would be like, and then I was like, oh, pictures time's over, because then you get the blue overcast or whatever. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's it. And that's how I used to do it. Like, I was like, oh, this isn't good. So.
Do you have like a light box now, or do you do
not a light box. It's 2 pieces of white poster board with like
flashes.
No, it's just like those 55,000 K lights. Like I just got them from Amazon. I just have 2 shining down on my little photo setup, but I'm tired of it. Like I don't want to keep on posting every single gecko on like a cork bark round with a green plant. But I've tried everything. I'm also using my cell phone because my Nikon's outdated. But I've tried other things like to pose them on and everything, and I just can't get the colors right.
Yeah, that's right.
The fog and the greenery, it helps like make everything the right color.
Give the camera something to latch onto that it knows the color of.
Yeah, I guess so. Like it also kind of probably helps me too. I'm like, well, that's like green and this is brown, and if the background looks as white as it can, then I guess it's pretty accurate, But,
yeah.
So your background is just the poster board.
That's
awesome.
That's I don't like when I poster board, like when I can see the cracks where they're connected. I don't like that. But wherever the gecko moves, I have to angle and take the picture. So
yeah, no, you've done a good job. I mean, you can't even tell.
The reality is nobody cares apparently. So
the funny thing is, I think I get the most sales off of the ones that are in my hand and this and that. Like
it's crazy. I mean, I know, I forget who, I think maybe Robbie said that, Harry. He's like, I was doing all this stuff trying to take all these photos, and the ones that end up doing the best are just me holding the gecko in my hand. Man, I think because it's like everybody knows what that looks like.
Yeah. Kind of like a cell phone shot of your hand or something.
Yeah.
Not really. Like the ones that are in my hand, they're in bad lighting. And
Yep.
But I don't know. Like I'll have that happen too, where I'll sell a gecko with like a really nice photo, and somebody be like, "Can you send me a cell phone photo?" I'm like, "You want to see a really bad photo?" Yes, I want to see it in the dingy bathroom with the cell phone. All right, here you go.
I get that too.
This isn't what it looks like at all, but here you go. I guess they just want worst case scenario. Here's the worst it'll ever look. If you walk in your bathroom while you're holding it and take a picture in the dark. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, AJ.
Oh, I was going to ask. So I want to ask you, Tara, a little bit about care and just kind of how you manage your collection, because with 1,000 animals ish, you've got a lot of mouths to feed, a lot of spraying to do, substrate to clean, all these different things. Can you kind of walk us through a little bit of maybe your cage setups from hatchling up to adulthood, things you've learned over the years as far as what works or doesn't work? I'll start there and then I'll ask you more. So kind of your step up from, hatchling, juvenile, subadult, adult, breeder kind of enclosures, how you do that.
So I'm still using the Sterilite bins. They're
no problem with that.
I'm a little embarrassed about it, but because
don't be. I use them
with all these beautiful setups and everything, and mine are just functional and they've worked for me all this time. They're easy to clean, they're lightweight, but yes, I got to stack and unstack. I do, but I don't know. I think I'd rather do that. Do I wish for doors? Yes, I do. But I think I'd rather do that than have to clean those. Like, I've looked at the Gecko Junkie, cages, and they're in, sets of 4x4, I believe they are.
They're 4 wide. Yeah. So you go, it's 4 cages wide, and then you can stack, 5 cages tall.
Right.
Or 6 cages tall or whatever.
I like to put everything in the sink. Like, I like to just hose. I have like one of those hose things out. I don't know how I would clean those easily. I mean, I would have to go inside each one, wipe it all down.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean, like for feeding and stuff, it would probably be.
Cleaning is not fun in them.
But the cleaning part of it, I just find the bins perfect. I mean, they're perfect. So it doesn't look pretty, which is why you don't ever see a picture of mine.
So with the bin, do you have them stacked, the hatchling bins? Do you have them on racks, like baker's racks?
I have the hatchlings on rolling racks.
Okay,
so we can roll them where we need them.
So do you have like 2 or 3 shelves with like 5 stacked per shelf high?
I have 2 shelves and 7 stacked high.
Okay.
Each one holds like 98, I think.
Okay. And do you have front vents where you can at least spray through them, or do you just have like melted holes?
Or I used to mist. Everybody gets a water bowl, and I have a humidifier that runs.
So you don't spray at all?
I don't mist anymore.
What was the thought process behind that? Just mold?
So there was something online. I remember Brian Butler saying he didn't mist or whatever his. And either I asked him, but I don't know why it would have come up, or I read it somewhere. Just gave him a water bowl, and mine always had water bowls anyway. I do miss the hatchlings. I do, but but not the adults anymore. I mean, it depends. If I notice some shedding issues or something, I would miss them. But we also started running the humidifiers now. So, and before I didn't do that.
What's your humidity at? Just before I forget.
So it ranges like between like 45 to 65. Okay. I mean, it's funny because I have those Govee and I have several in each area, and they all read a little different. Like, well, I say a little, I mean, it could be 10 points. Wow. I don't really know exactly, but last year we had a lot of shedding problems, like getting stuck shed and I was like, we got to do something better, because I actually just moved into this house like this is going on year 2. So there was a learning curve of how the house worked and the humidity and this and that. So we did have a lot of shedding issues last year, but this year, none. And
so what changed between last year and this year? More humidifiers?
Yeah, I never paid attention to the humidity before. Like I didn't ever really pay any mind to that. And I was like, what? We should run humidifiers. Let's just do that. Because I don't know.
So before you were able to get away with water bowls, not spraying and not humidifying?
Yeah.
Wow. That's lucky.
And your
house too. Like in my old house, maybe it was more humid. I don't know, this one must be more dry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Are you in New York? Sorry.
I'm in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. South Jersey. The north.
Yeah, that's good. So no spray. I mean, yeah, we asked about that. We did a little questionnaire for like a little reel the other day talking about spraying versus not spraying. So what have you seen as the benefits or the pros to not spraying? Just you don't have to clean as often.
So in
mold.
the 6-quart bins, we were realizing there was some mold there.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of try to prevent that, but I mean, really, it was just because of Brian and saying he didn't need to spray. I'm like,
yeah,
all right. I mean, if I'm just going to give water bowls, and I figured that water evaporates, it creates humidity. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think all of us are trying to figure out, because when we asked that question to from our podcast, I think it's a week ago or so, then we're just trying to figure out the level of spraying and misting. And even on the back end, AJ and I and a couple of people were trying to figure out mold issues and like when to spray, when not to spray, how much to keep our humidity up and just water bowls, So yeah, we're trying to figure stuff out as well as we kind of try to evolve our care and whatnot, right? Sometimes we over mist and it gets moldy with the egg flats and stuff. And so, yeah.
Gecko room, did you install an exhaust vent? We did that when we
in my new one.
Yeah.
I'm going to do they call it like an energy recovery vent. Basically it pulls outside air in and pushes inside air out, and then it buffers the temperatures between outside and inside. Okay. So you can exchange. It's an air exchanger.
Awesome. That's good. Yeah. We put in vents, like bathroom vent type thing.
Yeah.
So, we were also realizing that when we turned those on, and like I was trying to leave them on because I thought that kind of like kept the air fresh and stuff, like by putting it out.
Yeah.
It was sucking out too much humidity. So we only turned on like a little bit during like the day, like when we're, or we try to leave them on off at night because that's when I want the humidity to build up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we're feeding and stuff, we turn them on, and it just helps keep the smells down. I mean, not that they smell, but that damn.
The musty, just moisture smell. Yeah.
And just cycling the air, keeping it clean.
Who comes over and stuff, they're like, you would never know you have anything here. Like, it doesn't smell. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not sucking out.
So are they mounted? Are they just mounted like are they ceiling mounted or are they wall mounted?
They're in the ceiling. When we built the house, we knew what we wanted to do. So we.
Oh, cool.
To do it. Yeah.
Do you just have one gecko room or you have multiple rooms?
We have, currently we have 2, but we're going over the whole entire basement.
Okay.
Wow.
Right. I have the whole basement used, but I'm going to.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So are they all in the basement right now?
Most of them are in the basement, but we do have one upstairs room.
Okay. Yeah. That'll be fun. That's a lot of animals to have in one space.
That's why I was looking at those cages from Gecko Junkie, but I don't, because the basement, I don't know, like we have a pool table. I kind of wanted it to be like all around the walls and be nice.
Yeah.
Number one, it's going to be very, very, very expensive. And number two, cleaning part of it. Like
why don't you do lidless racks with the tubs you already have?
Because I feel, so the way I do it is I pull out all the tubs and everything is my weight, at my level. I just want keep everything at the same level. With those racks, you have to bend down and pull them out, and you're going to be on your knees. I don't want to be on my knees. I'm 50, almost 50 years old.
Yeah, no, I get it. So do you have a cart and you pull out like 2 at a time, like on the breeder bins?
I pull out the whole stack of cages and I just use the ones that are on the bottom as my table.
Yeah.
But I do have rolling carts too.
Yeah, to have food and paper towel and spray or not spray. Water.
But I still sometimes do. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just convenient. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've told Harry before, I'm like, I love tubs. I think,
Mhm.
it's kind of one of those things where I did tubs, I've done exoterras, I've done the gecko junkie stuff, and a lot of times I come back to wanting to use tubs.
Mhm.
I feel like the animals do better in them.
They do fine. They do fine.
Not even fine. I think they do better than they do in PVC. Like
And why do you say that? Because you have PVC. What do you mean? They're like, well,
I think that they, I don't know if it's that the tub holds less humidity or more humidity than a PVC cage, but I feel like the humidity levels are better. I just feel like the feeding response is better in tubs versus PVC. Like if you take a gecko that's in a relatively large tub and you put it into a PVC cage, like they often won't eat for a couple weeks. And you can move them up tub sizes and they will eat. So like there's some switch when you go from a tub to a PVC cage where they don't like it for quite a while.
do you think you have lights on yours? Do you think it's the lights?
Could be. I mean, we don't have interior lights on each of these tubs. It's just ambient room temperature. But then the tubs are clear and the PVCs are 3/4 black or white. So there's maybe more ambient light, but not harsh light. That could be it.
Are your tubs clear or are they like frosted? What are you guys?
Mine?
Yeah, or are they dark?
They're just the Sterilite ones. So they're frosted. I guess you would call them frosted because they're not totally.
They're not like crystal clear.
Yeah, okay.
Do you use the breeder bin? Do you use the 56s or the 58s or whatever?
Yeah, they're 56.
Okay. Yeah. That's a great tub.
I
have right now, I probably have like 40 of them being used.
Keep it so simple. Like an egg crate fits perfect, like on the sides and across. Like I have, and then I have, each one has the 2 sides egg crate, one across, one on the bottom, and then paper towels, paper plant, and a paper towel tube, like
and a lay box,
and a lay box. That's and
it's food and water.
Yeah, it works perfect. I love those. I just love them. I don't like the way they look, but I do love how functional they are and help.
Yeah, and it's very, very easy to clean, I assume. Just take everything out, spray it down. Yeah.
Yeah, you spray it down and everything pretty much just melts away. It's very little wiping that you have to do. I mean, it just...
Especially if you're not spraying in the tub, too.
Yeah, you mean misting?
Yeah.
Why would that make it...
I feel like misting in the tub, like when they poop and you mist and they smear it, or just in general, I feel like if the bin is, if the sides are dry and whatnot, you might get it. Things would probably clean off the sides of the tubs. Like when there's dry feces or urates, it just kind of falls off when it's dry.
Right, it does.
But when it's kind of that in between moist and like that halfway point, it's kind of like glue.
Yeah.
So
that's when you need to soak a little bit, but
so it's probably, I mean, I think that's really interesting. Harry, what's your thoughts on Tara's setup? I like it. I think that's awesome.
I think when we're talking to, I think Cryptiles, right? I think Cryptiles uses all bins. I don't think he has any of this stuff either. Yeah. And I think it's, if I were to start over, I like these for the just the looks, but I do feel like practically and functionally the bins are totally fine. I use lidded bins for quite a while, at least for the small ones, the 6 quarts, the 15 quarts, and I had those just stacked up, and those were easy to clean. These ones, with the Container Store all racked up, like you just have to pull everything out, pull the animals out, bring it to the backyard. But yeah, I think it's I think it's a kind of a good practical way to house animals for sure.
I do really like lidless shoe boxes though. I will say I went from
like
in the drawer system. When I went from lids on shoe boxes to lidless, it was a life changer.
Ones that are at the bottom.
Well, you're still gonna have to bend over to pull the bottom ones up to feed them.
Well, no, I bend over, I pull out a stack, and then I bring it up to the table.
Oh, I guess if it's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
a
yeah.
rack.
Yeah, that is more
The
convenient.
lowest you have to go is to grab the bottom ones off the rack.
So in the perfect setup, I guess, it would be the ones with lids on the bottom so we can pull them, and then the ones on the top just to be able to pull out.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
design
yeah,
my rack system.
Yeah, it'll be the Tara rack. So as
Yeah,
far as the baby setups, could you walk us through that?
They're the same. They're just the 6-quart bins. They have a piece of egg crate, paper towel, food and water. That's it.
Yeah. How's the ventilation on your tubs? I don't know if we chatted about that. I missed that.
To do screen fronts.
Okay.
But I don't do that anymore. I just take a soldering iron and I poke like a million holes around the whole thing. It was just easier for me.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have to mist. I guess you're misting the babies, but how often are you misting the babies? Like every feeding?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay. So you're not having to mist them any other time other than when you're going in swapping food.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
good.
I mean that works.
Yeah. How often are you feeding? How often do you kind of go and swap and clean out? Is it once a week, twice a week?
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay. Gotcha. Keep everything fresh. And that's when you feed too, I assume. You're cleaning and then you throw the fresh food.
Yep. Everybody gets fresh paper towel. We just I use those paper souffle cups.
Yeah.
Yep. So everybody I just
like the ketchup cups.
Yeah. And so
okay.
It's still clean, like, no poop on it or anything like that. I just hold that, and then swipe out the paper towel in the food cup, throw that away, get a new paper towel, put the egg crate back in the cup. And
okay. That's good. So you just dispose of the cups, which is convenient. Yeah.
The from the restaurant store. I get like a box of 5,000. I get like 4 or 6 boxes at a time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that website. You can buy everything on there.
Webstront.
Yeah.
Between Websterant and Uline, I feel like you can buy like everything.
Yep. I get all my Uline and all the.
Who do you get crickets from, Tara?
So I just switched. I was getting them from Gons, but the shipping is insane. Like,
really? Up to you. It's pretty crazy.
More for shipping than I did for the crickets. So I switched to Josh's frogs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I use Josh's too.
And their crickets are like very lively. Like they jump higher. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're extra lively crickets. So I feel good getting them from. And but I just started doing it. It was Gons all the time, but it just got to be. I was like, there's got to be cheaper.
What program were you on? Were you just on their wholesale program, or did you have the Great program? Or
So yeah, I was on the wholesale thing. And something happened. Do they not do that anymore? Because I can't. Maybe Gons they changed hands, didn't they?
I think the Gons family still owns it. It might be a different, like a son versus the dad, or
I don't know, because I was part of that program, and then I wasn't. So I don't know what happened, and I even contacted them, and now it's been a while. I can't remember what the deal was, but no, I was just paying regular price.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's expensive. I was just gonna say I was gonna say to you about egg crates. This is totally unrelated to anything on the podcast, but I got quoted from Gans for just buying egg carton. And to me, at least, you should check it. You should reach out to him. But to me, it was actually cheaper than Uline with shipping.
Oh.
So it was like $20 or $30 cheaper. I normally buy like 280 flats at a time.
Yeah.
Like 2 of the 140s.
Yes, that's what
it was, I think it was like $50. I think it was $50 shipped per 140, which was a little cheaper. I think I pay like 130 or 140 for Uline. So
yeah, I would have to look.
So yeah, might save you a little money.
Yeah, it might. I'll have to look. But does he want to do that? Does he want to branch out and ship everything?
I had heard somebody else had bought them, and I reached out, and they're like, "Yeah, we sell them." So
okay. All right, I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah. I don't know who they source them from, but maybe they're buying them from Uline.
Maybe.
Yeah, I get my stuff from Josh's Frogs currently, and they outsource all their stuff. So on the West Coast, it's either from Visalia, California, or Washington.
The crickets.
Yeah, so every time I get something from Josh's recently, it's always been different. Sometimes they're too small. Sometimes they die really quick. So I've had it's been a little bit frustrating for me with Josh's during the winter. During the summer, it's great because everything lives, right? Because it's nice and warm.
About Josh's frogs, they guarantee like
Yes.
they're alive even when like Gons wouldn't, like because like they'll ship in like cooler temperatures and stuff, and so it's easier to keep them, you know, because like they'll ship them anytime.
When things go wrong, their return policy is like Costco. You can kind of lean on it.
So last month I had reordered because they showed up dead from the crickets. So I had 3 reorders back to back because they kept showing up dead. But yeah, the nice thing is that they do have that live guarantee. So eventually got a good set of crickets. So
you had 3 orders in a row dead. That is nuts.
During the winter time, it's always like that. It's just hard to.
There needs to be a good West Coast cricket supplier because you guys, everybody that's out on the West Coast, you have such a hard time. It's crazy.
Yes, it's bad. Yeah, I mean, there's Bassett Cricket Ranch, but that's where Josh's Frogs outsources from, and they ship it to me. But a lot of time they're dead. So anyway, sorry. But Tara, do you when we talk about keeping in larger bins, do you group house a lot of your females, or how does that rotation work?
No, I males and females together. I do not put multiple in together.
So you will leave pairs together though, or no?
Leave pairs together, like so. In the beginning of the season, that's when I do like I'll switch if I want a male to go with like 3 different females for that season or something, I will have the plans like I'll put him with 1 female at a time. Usually I'll leave them together for a month. I don't I don't switch them around too much. I leave them for about a month until she lays or until I think like they've been together they've been together for a month, so hopefully she'll be laying soon. And then those next female, the last female that he's with, I usually leave them together, and then I'll separate them the next season.
Okay.
And that it's been fine. It's worked fine for me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so you just rotate the male throughout the females, but females you house individually in general.
Yeah.
The nice thing about that format is it helps cut down on male housing too.
Exactly. That's part of the reason that I'd have to do it.
You don't have to have dedicated cages for every male. If he's got like a home cage that he ends up in.
And I just hope that the last pairing that I put together is a really good one, because lots of times I get 2 seasons out of that because you can't just separate them and then not expect the female to not lay from him the next year.
Yeah.
Part of my plan. I'll be like, okay, well, I hope this works out.
This pair is going to be a 2-season pair.
That's cool.
But that's how I have to do it right now because but they get along great. The males and females.
Yeah.
They're fine. But I tried housing 2 females together early on, and I had mixed feelings about it. Sometimes it would work out, but sometimes it wouldn't. I realized that I also, if I had to do it again, I would definitely have more than 1 food station. I think that's the whole part of the thing. Like if you only have 1 bowl, I think the females will bully each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll have 1 animal that will just clear the bowl and then the other one doesn't get to eat.
Right.
One's a little more voracious and will just eat all the food.
I actually also like to know exactly who the pairing was from.
Yeah, for sure.
Female it is. I like to keep that separate.
Yeah. So you keep track of your lineage and it's no issues there. But I know with Butler, he just group houses, and so he doesn't keep, he can't get parent pictures because you don't know what they came from.
He could tell you it's from this male and one of these females.
Yeah.
And that's okay in some instances, but I don't know.
Yeah. And I think, this, Tara, but the modern age of crested geckos, like information is very important to people. So
lineage wise, yeah.
Lineage wise, I think the minimum that people really expect is at least like parent pictures and origins of those parents.
I like pictures and grandparents if I can, because that really helps me in my pairings.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten something that looks like a grandparent, you know, and so I kind of put my pairs together with that in mind.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's something to consider. I mean, you can also go too deep down the rabbit hole, and then some people will do that. They're like, oh, do you have like the pictures of this animal from 2005? You know, I have an offspring that's 6 generations away from it. It's like, that's not going to make a difference.
I won't that information, but if I can look it up and find it, I'll do it for my own good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's good. Tara, in terms of like growth in, you're feeding, twice a week, you don't throw crickets in, and kind of, as I'm kind of thinking through kind of my growth, how to grow out my hatchlings and stuff in terms of the time, what does that look like for you? Do you find that, growing out an animal from hatchling to adult is shorter for you or longer for you? Because when we ask people this, it kind of varies, right? So
I think it's kind of longer for me because a lot of them are like I said, in the basement. It's cooler down there. And even though I run the heater, I think that it does have something to do with their appetite. Because I notice in the summer, and also in the summer, I do feed more crickets too. But before with guns, I had to look at the weather and see if they were going to guarantee my shipment.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm better with, I'll order crickets more frequently because I'm doing it with Josh's. But, so I think my geckos are starting to pick up, growing.
Okay.
Before, yeah, they would take a little longer. Like, my females would be 2.5 or 3 before they'd be like, ready to breed. And when I say that, I'm talking like 50 to 55 grams. Like I don't really like to pair them at 45. I think
it's kind of small too.
It is. It's small, but some of the females though, they could be 3 and be 45 grams. I'm like, all right, well, I guess you're just petite.
Yeah.
But it's funny because they do continue to grow. Like I had some that were 50 grams when I started first pairing them, and now they're like 76. I'm like
massive.
I don't know. They continue to grow, like it seems like for their whole life, basically. I don't know. But I'm not saying I have all kinds of 76 gram geckos. I'm just saying occasionally, a few of them here and there, they're big.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, I've tried, not feeding as many crickets, and then I've tried feeding a lot of crickets, just because crickets are expensive and it's not always easy to source, properly.
Crickets make a lot faster. Like when I will actually notice, like after I do crickets and stuff, and you go back to feed them again, I'm like, you're bigger. Like they do it. It like happens. Yeah. It's insane. Like it makes them grow really quick.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I just like how they look once you start feeding insects and stuff too. They just look like structurally.
They look healthier
and proper, and they don't look fat. They just look meaty.
Yep.
Yeah, they look strong.
Yeah,
look strong, like they've been working out. Or, Tara, talking about projects. I know we touched a little bit on your high white, high coverage stuff, and I think that's why a lot of people go to you, because that's such a hot project still, and it has been, right, for several seasons, and even now, that's my main project. Seeing AJ stuff. And that's what kind of drew me into a lot of the hobby, and I've been trying to develop and work on that as well. Do you have any kind of advice or tips in terms of how you develop that line and how you continue to make it better?
I mean, I don't want. It's obvious though, isn't it? Like you pair things that like so. Like you like the coverage of this one, and then the whiter cream of this one, and then like, if I also go with lineage too, like I'm like like this one, that plays a huge part in my in what I pair together. So I also look and see what they've produced in the past. Like I keep my breeders a long time. I know a lot of people seem to, they'll breed them for a few years and then just
cycle.
But no, I keep mine for a long time. And even if I'm not pairing them that year, like I'll go back and like look at things that I've made or that, that they've done with different females. And I'm like, you're responsible for that. So I'm going to put you with, like a lot of thought goes into my projects, like a lot. Like I'll think of things like for the whole, like, even though I'm just starting pairing net, like, for the season, I'm already planning next year. Like,
yeah,
it's just I'm always constantly thinking about that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think just pairing similar geckos or things that knowing what they've made in the past. You want white or cream? Hold back the lightest cream that they gave you. It doesn't even have to be the most coverage.
Yeah,
you have to, like the quality of the color too.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good advice. Sometimes the hardest thing to work on is actually color, not coverage.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm working on now. I'm going backwards because I'm finding that by doing the high coverage for somehow I am going like more like with the hypo stuff, like a lot of lavenders, and that's not my plan. So now I'm like, all right, so if this one has like a really rich, intense color, I'm going to hold that one back and let the one go with a higher coverage because I want to get that color back. Like
you want to get the black base color.
Black and white. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Without being xanthic. I want black and white. Like even xanthics aren't that, well, a lot of them aren't that black, but white, so I'm holding back for color this season and last. The high coverage can go, even though they're beautiful, but I don't want all lavenders. Somehow that's happening. It's lightening the color and with the I don't know. So anyway,
I agree that like working with the high white, high coverage stuff, the coverage isn't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing is like fine tuning the black and whites, which which I find to be quite hard to do. And AJ this is kind of his main stuff too, right? It's harder to kind of
I find that a lot of those go lavender based too, though. Yeah, that the hypo look or the more lavender base, that definitely does sneak in over time.
Is it because the hypo is like lightening your base, but it also lightens your blacks? Is that what it's doing?
Yeah, I mean, it might help kind of clean up the white pattern, but also it's making your black gray or lavender.
Even though I do have some really cool, like normal geckos that are gray and white, and kind of look like it's kind of neat because it looks like xanthic, but it's not.
Yeah,
I do like the gray base color. Not so much always the lavender. I just have to.
Yeah. How much of your project base is, if you could give it a percentage or whatever, is the kind of the high white, high coverage stuff? Because that's what you're really known for, the main stuff you're known for.
Well, I try to put high white on everything, but that doesn't mean coverage has I'm trying to work on my tricolors this time.
Okay.
Have actually had really good luck last year pairing it. I thought I was going to get red tricolors, my regular tricolor male to a red and cream female. But actually what she did was she made the orange a lot more intense. So I have 3 distinct colors and a really nice rich base color. I'm going to put that pair back together this year. They made some really awesome things. Actually, if you pull up my
Instagram, pull you up. Hold on, give me a
just
second.
a picture of the gecko on my hand, so it's nothing fancy.
We like the hand pictures.
Yeah, you pull that up. I have so many holdbacks from them. Keep on scrolling down because it's like a little. Keep going. It's back there a little bit. Oh, there. Hold on. Go up.
This one?
The one next to the one with the open mouth. Yeah, that one.
This one.
Yeah. Now, the orange on that is
Yeah,
and,
it kind of pops.
yeah, and the white cream is complete. I think it's whiter than paper. Like it's intense.
Wow,
And
that's
did
pretty.
that few of them. And I don't know, I feel like maybe the red helped bring out the orange, brighten it. I don't know. I have a sibling to that one on there too. If you keep on scrolling up.
This one?
No, that's a Falk York.
Oh.
Actually, all of these things are coming from those lines. It's just
okay. Yeah. Falkirk throws like some stuff that's like some of them look very different from the others, which is interesting. Let's see. Keep going.
Wait, hold on. Well, that's go back down a little bit, and then hold on. It's the one. So go up like 2 picture rows. Like go up to like this way. That.
The other way? Okay.
And then so underneath that yellow, in between those yellows, all the way to the. I don't know. My hand isn't going the right way.
This way?
Yeah,
this one?
Yeah.
Yay!
That's another one of their babies.
Okay, Kaching and Hot Stepper.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's really bright color.
Yeah, so I'm really liking it. I have a few backs already, so I'm gonna pair them again.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's kind of like a side project you're working on.
Well, it's not really a side project. I mean, I have tricolor projects too. But all my tricolors were like going a little hypo. Like I was losing the intensity of the color. So I went back. Yeah.
That's beautiful though. I love tricolors. And then you got a lot of phantom stuff too. Like you make different like phantom tiger things.
Yeah, I love that stuff too. I love them all. Like, can you tell?
Yeah, lots of variety.
Yeah, it's good.
Dalmatians.
Yeah. How's your? When did you get into the tiger stuff? It's been a while, right? Because
So funny part was I used to sell all the tigers because I liked them, but people weren't really into that, and I just never really I don't know. I just never really perfected it. Like but Falk and York, I think they were trying to tell me something because they've been making those funky phantoms and the tiger stuff forever, and I always thought it was cool, and everybody always, I don't know. So this year, or last year, a couple of years ago, I started holding some tiger stuff back, and I was bringing the tiger back. That one's not mine. That's Haley's, but she's on a breeder loan.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I like that. It's very orange.
Yeah, she's going with. Well, she actually went with. We got eggs already, but she went with. His name is Sloppy Joe too. He's on there somewhere.
On there, okay. We'll find him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have some really good tigers. It's really clean.
He's cool.
There, Sloppy Joe too.
Yeah, there you go. She's with him.
Nice.
There's a better picture with better lighting that's not on my hand, but
we'll find him.
Down further.
Oh, he's down this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it this one? No.
The same. Oh, there's another gecko on the cork around with
it works. I think it works because the colors pop.
Frame of reference is consistent.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Oh, this one's cool.
Yeah, that's also.
I think it's tricolor.
That's Kaching and right. That's a Kaching and Hot Stepper.
And Hot Stepper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some good tries. Yeah.
Oh, he's on there somewhere.
There's a nice tiger right there. Go up a little bit.
Oh, there! Oh, I saw him underneath this. Yeah, that's him. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
That's cool. Such bold stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most tigers that we see, they don't have those big bold stripes. They're just kind of like a little bit dinky and barely there. But yeah, this one's really nice. I love the bold stripes.
I'm trying to do the bold stripes on a nice bright orange base. So hopefully here we'll do that. We'll see.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, here, this one. Yeah, very cool. So you're trying to do bright orange base, bold stripes. Is there any other directions you're trying to take the tiger projects that you are kind of thinking about, or is that mainly the main thing you're going for?
So that too, the cream based tiger.
Okay, gotcha.
The orange tigers and the Bengal tigers.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
I mean, yeah, because you have the base stock for all the white the white stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
So crazy. So how of all these things that are like these high white animals, how many of those share some relation?
That one right there doesn't show. It doesn't have. Oh, hold on a second. I'm trying to think. Now you got me thinking because
I'm just wondering, is it all like, do you have like, because with me, I maybe have like 2 or 3 lines of like high white stuff, that go back to ancestors that are unrelated. Is this like, a few of those, or do these all kind of have origin back to the chowder stuff? Or
a lot of them have the chowder stuff, but that female that you just had up there before, that was the white squall stuff. Remember when the gill pins had white squall? She's from that line.
Is that Toulouse twerp or no? I don't remember the pairing of white squall.
Didn't they get on iHerp? I probably have the information, but I thought white squall was like a pet store find or something.
Oh,
like pet store find.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, I think I have that written down in there if I remember correctly. But
yeah, that's cool. Such good coverage on all these animals. I love it.
She goes back to she's from Black Cloud, so she goes back to chowder too. But it's crazy, like how I don't know, it just crazy how the coverage like takes it, like it just that gene, how it just like.
How have you noticed that it works as far as inheritance? Do you need 2 animals displaying it to make it? Do you only need 1? In your experience of kind of outcrossing it, that white spot, that white spot or that fluffy white?
But it does help.
But you have made it from breeding animals with none to breeding animals with a lot.
I don't have a lot of animals that aren't high coverage anymore. So
yeah,
I'm trying to think of how
it went before.
Yeah.
You're just stacking them up really strong. So
stacking.
Yeah, all your stuff looks awesome.
Thank you.
So I was going to ask you, Tara, I know that we, you've been around a long time, and back when the thought process was, throw 2 geckos together. Oh, what am I going to get? It was kind of a grab bag. But that was what people used to think, the general public. I didn't think that either. Obviously, you and I were both breeding for certain looks, and we were using animals that had complementing traits, breeding them together, observing the offspring. But the reason I ask, I feel like we're kind of moving into this new era of what you said you didn't like in leopard geckos, which is Punnett squares, right?
Oh.
So what's your thought on that? Do you like some of these new morphs? Are any of them interesting to you?
I like them all. I mean, I like everything, but yeah, I have some exanthics now.
Okay.
I have a sable. I just bought a little sable from Gabby.
Nice.
I did buy some cappuccinos, but I bought everything as babies. I like to watch them grow up.
Yeah.
I'm rush to, to pair things right away and make sables, like to be on par with everybody else. And
yeah. You're playing the long game. You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, so I know that everything takes a while. I really like watching things grow up, which is why I really only offer older geckos for sale. Like you won't see too many me post too many babies, at least not online. I've been offering them a little bit at shows, but no, I hold back everything. I let go so many things that it's probably good. It's probably better that I did, because I probably would have to right now. But I used to wholesale things as babies, and then I'd see them growing up, and I'm like, the heck? Like I saw that. Like this is, it just was like boggled my, like that's it. I'm holding on to everything I can for as long as I can.
Yeah.
I try to do. And I think people like it because it seems like people at like shows that I've noticed, I mean, not that I have a lot of experience with it. At shows, it seems like people, that brings people to the table. Like they can see all the colors from a distance, you know, like when you have a bunch of little babies on the table and you have to pick up every little deli cup and look at it like with a microscope to see like anything on it.
What's
like
it gonna look like?
yeah, it just I don't want to do that. I don't like going to people's tables and having to look at every little one. So it's helpful, you know. You kind of already know what you're getting, and you kind of already pretty much know if it's male or female, you know. So I don't know. That's what I like to offer.
Yeah, I think that's smart. A lot of people sell babies, and I noticed that, you know, as the things develop, because I'm a newer breeder, right? So as I watch my stuff grow, I'm like, wow, the you know, the progress it makes from 8 grams to 20 grams, it's pretty significant. Yeah.
Yep.
And then
I like watching them grow.
yeah. And I think, yeah, for people that are buying animals that are a little bit bigger, they're getting what they're getting, right? They're not going to be tricked into, not tricked, but you know, as new breeders, sometimes you'll buy something small and it doesn't turn out. But if you buy something big already, then you know what you're getting. It's exactly how it's going to look. It might get a little bit brighter even, right? So
I had holdbacks that I kept like until they were, well, I mean, you know, I made a decision with my holdbacks, the ones I was going to sell at maybe like 20 grams. You'd think, or maybe probably less than that, maybe 12, 15. And you think you have a pretty good idea. But I've seen pictures of some of the geckos that I sold, and I'm like, wait, I held back this one because it was better at the time. It looked better. But now that one looks better. Like, and I sold the one that I should have kept.
Yeah.
Whatever, that happens too. But so I don't know. I try to hold back as much as I can, as long as I can.
So when you're raising those geckos out to adulthood to sell, what does that caging look like? What's the in between tub for those?
They keep on moving up. So they start at the 6 quart, then 18 quart, 26. And then if I'm keeping them, they go to 56 or, you know.
Okay. So 26 is kind of like the last stop before sales.
And then I hope that they sell soon because you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Take up a lot of space.
That's. And going back to the Punnett square thing, crested geckos are still different in that way because I know that, like, yeah, so maybe you'll get like a certain amount of exanthics or something like that. Now to see whatever the Punnett square is. But you're not going to know exactly what that gecko is going to look like and how much cream it acquired. And I know the exanthics, they're saying like a lot of, you know, unless you mix it with a lily, that the exanthic gene kind of takes away from
pattern.
But there's, I mean, I think it's kind of like it was in the old days. I think that if we work on it, it will get there eventually, like maybe with the white spot trait and stuff like that. Right. Isn't Korea already doing that?
Doing which?
They have high coverage exanthics that aren't lily whites.
Yeah, I think because they bred them to like high pattern tricolors and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, so I think that there's a lot of work to do with.
For sure. Yeah, I think a lot of the original exanthics, from what I can see, I think a lot of them were phantoms. Yeah. So then to make non-phantom versions, that takes a couple years because you got to make hets and all that. And then you got to build in that pattern. So I think they'll just get nicer and nicer.
I do too.
I think we'll see versions of like the gecko behind you and on your banner in exanthic form that aren't lily whites. I think we will see that eventually.
Yeah. Who's that animal behind you? Who's that on your banner, by the way?
That's Tempest.
Tempest. Okay.
That's pretty.
Yeah, that's nice. All that coverage is crazy.
I wanted a better banner, but I had to come up with something real quick for flora fauna because that was my first show, and I'm like, oh, I need to do a banner.
So wait, you've got black background there. So did you have black poster board?
No, I background like Vistaprint.
Yeah.
You can do that. Like you
Oh,
can.
nice. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's cool. Tara, we're talking about selling things, because like a lot of, obviously a lot of us breed to kind of make cool projects, but also to share those projects, to kind of sell those things and sell cool animals. You said you just started selling at shows recently. Flora Fauna, right, was your first show that you kind of showed out at, and now you're doing a lot of East Coast shows.
Yeah, we try to do one a month.
Okay. Oh, that's quite a bit. So is there a reason why you started doing shows? It's just to put your face out there more, or is it, what is the reasoning for that?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I want to put myself out there more.
Yeah.
I want to, it helps get rid of some more geckos.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, you can sit at home, like we said, and sell them from your couch, but you got to wait until they can ship. I like shows because they can take them with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Helps clear those spaces a little quicker.
Yeah, so that works out nice. And sorry, I'm a little distracted.
No, you get. Have the shows been good for you? Have you found like?
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, they're not any flora fauna. Like I had
flora fauna. Your table was swarmed the entire time.
I thought shows were gonna be a little different.
Yeah. Especially the local shows, the smaller local shows, and that's
too. You can get rid of a little bit lower ends that I wanted to post online. I have to take pictures of them.
It's nice, it's nice to save the time on the posting and writing all the descriptions and everything on maybe some of those lower priced animals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when we bring them back, I just usually, I still don't take pictures of the cheaper ones. Like I'll start at like maybe $250 and just take pictures of $250 and up.
Okay.
Leave the other ones for the shows.
Yeah, that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and we know that you post a lot on Morph Market, right? You actually use Morph Market. Say again, Tara?
I have a website, so that's my only place that I can sell anything.
Oh,
because we're not allowed to use like Facebook or Instagram anymore. We used to.
Yeah.
To sell.
But not anymore.
How have you found Morph Market to be for you?
It's all right. I mean, it's okay. For some reason, it seems to go in spurts. Like like all of a sudden, I think it's just the way that I don't know whether it's like maybe my animal shows up on the first page, like when somebody's looking, and all of a sudden, like I'll get all kinds of inquiries, and sometimes things that have been posted on there for a couple months, all of a sudden everybody wants the same one. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm doing all right on there.
Okay. Yeah, because you have so many animals. So I figure you didn't have a website or whatever, but it's good to see you utilize Morph Market to this level, because most people don't put all their animals on here.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah. I gotcha.
It seems to be working out for you, though. We did an episode the other day, Tara, where we were looking at Morph Market. Yeah, and we saw a bunch of your animals. So.
Like Tara's animals are like very consistent with your pictures and the lighting, and it's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm like, oh, that's a Tara animal right there.
I wanted to say to you though, there's even a way that you can even, you know how like you went and narrowed it down, like, oh, I just want Dalmatians or something, but I'm sure you know. But there's another search feature where you can say I want only adults, and I want that, and it'll pull that up. And you mentioned about the tricolor not being a tricolor, mine, and I know that. The only thing. You see all the tricolors that are on there?
Oh, yeah. I know how it goes.
Oh, this could pass.
So, yeah, totally. I feel like there's definitely some gray area of descriptors. Like, well, it has 3 colors, And I guess there's a little bit. I think that's what I said was like there was more white than there was the other colors. So in my mind, I don't think it's a tricolor. But
there with you because I'm very strict when I actually call something. That's another reason I don't really like Morph Market because
you get pigeonholed into describing it by.
Yeah, I have
traits.
to. I don't really want to always label it, like,
Yeah,
because things fall under so many different categories. So
I feel like I see some people just put a lot of tags on it, like, oh, it's a Harlequin and it's a pinstripe and it's white, spot and it's this and
so it shows up like on more searches.
Yeah, you get a wider view. So I get it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that to make sure you get eyes on your animals. I mean, don't say something's an axanthic when it's not.
No, untruthful, but I will stretch the description a little bit, like
broaden it a little bit.
Like it might not have been a tricolor to me, but it could be a tricolor to somebody else. It technically does have 3 colors.
Yeah. I like that you said, I agree with you, but
here's a tricolor. Red tri. That's funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I've been thinking about if I want to do more Morph Market stuff in the future. I did it for a few years and then I stopped.
But you have a website.
Yeah, and I have a new website coming, but the nice thing about Morph Market is it is kind of like the Google of our industry where people go there just to browse, that maybe aren't super familiar with everyone's businesses. So that is nice that it is this broad net to reach people.
I also think that people don't quite understand it though, because they think Morph Market is the one, like they think they're contacting a huge business sometimes. Like they don't.
Oh, not an individual.
The individuals, yeah. I haven't had that happen that much, but I have read people's comments, like when they like just like on random Facebook postings or something. I'll read like comments, like if they made a screenshot or something. I'm like, never buying from Morph Market again. Well, what do you mean? Like that's just one seller. It's not Market that you can't buy from. It might be a seller.
This isn't Amazon.
So they're kind of ruining it for everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Would you do a website eventually? Is that a goal for you?
Yeah. I got a lot of stuff that I need to work on because like we want to I work a lot.
Yeah.
So I really do want to work my other job less and do geckos more.
Okay.
We're trying to work up to that. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm putting myself out there.
Doing some more shows.
I want to do more stuff online and just, reels and just get, I want to
plug into the community a little more and
kind of build your business out a little bit further so you can transition out of your current full-time job into the geckos that you enjoy.
Do you want to be 100% geckos at some point?
I love that, but
okay.
I needed to have I needed to have healthcare coverage for a hospital job. I'm a sonographer. I do cardiac echo.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Worked at a hospital. Well, I work in the outpatient office, but I've worked there now for 25 years.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm ready to
go. Yeah.
I want to. You know how people say if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I do, even though the geckos are a lot of work. Like I don't feel like I'm working. Like I love it. Like I don't feel like I'm cleaning cages. Like,
I feel the same. I don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, gotta go to work. It's like, oh.
The only time I will say that I feel that way is if you're sick. And luckily I'm not ever sick.
I got COVID once and had to feed the geckos. And I swear it took me like 8 hours instead of like 2 hours. Cause I was like each cup, I'm just like, my arms felt like they weighed 1,000 pounds. And I'm just like,
you don't get days off with geckos.
No, you don't get days off. That's the only thing. So it doesn't feel like a job, but you also can't walk away from it. So,
oh man.
Oh, and also though, recently, he I like to do everything myself. I don't like help. I don't like people to have their hands in anything, but you know, he had me. We have friends that have kids that are like 14, 15 years old. He had me have trained them to come and help feed and stuff like that. So everyone, like, you know, they were coming, you know, often for me. Like now they're getting a little involved. They're getting like older with their boyfriends, I guess, or whatever. But they were coming and helping me feed, and that was very helpful. But again, I don't really, you know, they just don't. I have food on my walls. Like they open up the gecko food and it's sprayed out. Like I was doing it.
I do think though, because I do this full time and I have a helper, and I do think that choosing the tasks that someone else you can have somebody else help you with, where it's not going to impact, like if they put a little too much food
But it makes a lot more molds. You got to know
yeah. But I guess I'm just saying, picking the tasks that are not detrimental if they're not done to your exact specs. Yeah. Those are the first things that I tried to help. Like, you know, anyone can swap a paper towel. Pull the paper towel out, wipe the bottom of the bin out, put a new paper towel in.
Right.
So it's like some of that stuff I'm just like, okay, this is the first things I'm checking off my list of having people help me with, and then I keep the more skilled things for myself.
The other thing we would do though, when they did come and help, we would rotate like the rack. So like if they fed that one like on Monday, I was making sure I did that one on Wednesday, because I want to make sure, you know, I don't want anybody doing the same one all the time, because then you never see the guys that are there. So just to make
I do that. I lay the schedule out so that at least once a week I'm seeing everything. So that's important. If you lose sight of that, things can go poorly. So so something we always do, Tara, and I'll ask you, we always ask advice for new breeders, because a lot of the people that listen to this podcast, I would say, are either aspiring breeders or maybe are in their first couple years. They're buying animals. They're figuring out their cage setups. They're maybe looking at their first shows they're going to vend, all these different things. So from all your years, all the way back to 2012 doing this, what would you say have been maybe your biggest takeaways if you were going to go back and tell the younger self what things you've now learned that would be helpful?
I think like one of the things I always, you know, I agree with buying the best that you can, like, you know, to start with. Same time as if you like a certain pairing, I think like I have geckos still to this day that I liked the parents of, and it was only like $65 for like a gecko from that lineage or whatever to add it to a box or whatever.
Yeah.
And she is still breeding for me this day, and I think I got her back in 2014, 16, I don't know. But like I'm going to say, like, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You know, you buy something, as long as you know the lineage and the lineage behind that gecko, I don't think you need to spend like
price doesn't always equal value always.
Is that's exactly and that doesn't, I mean, anybody could put a higher price on anything.
Yeah, for sure.
You're getting something better than something bring the same thing, or not the same thing, but you know, something like say a tricolor. You could spend $1,200 on a tricolor. You could spend $600, but the $600 one might even look better than the $1,200. It just depends on who's putting the price on it. And
I mean, even like when we did the morph market episode, Harry, the animals that we picked, like we picked a handful of Dalmatians from you, Tara, and they were $400, $500, $600. There was $2,000 Dalmatians on morph market, but I didn't think that the value for money was there. Sure, they have more spots, but is it worth 4 times, 5 times the cost? I didn't think so.
when I price things, I try to be like, I don't want to gouge people.
Yeah.
Like I want
And you want to sell stuff. You don't want to sit on it forever.
but I don't want to like, I've put a lot of work in my stuff too. Like I feel like I just try to price fairly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And every once in a while, there's something that I really don't want to let go. So that one be a little.
Yeah.
Super hold that.
This is the you'll pry it away from me price.
Yeah, like on it, this is your price. But other than that, stay in here, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
been far between. Like I don't do that a lot, but
yeah. So more so your stance is more buy for quality.
Yes, go by the quality behind the gecko and stuff.
Yeah. Quality lineage, quality time spent by that breeder to produce those animals, generations of working on it, that kind of thing.
Right. Something that you can see is consistent.
Yeah.
Consistency. I think that's another important thing.
We talked about that too, right, Harry? Where I said, I think I was telling you, like, I'd much rather buy an animal that the offspring, like if you look at the pairing and you see all the offspring that come out, if there's only one nice one out of 12 babies, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
The one freak nice animal, I want to see a pairing where they're all nice or most of them are nice.
It's a lot of consistency. So
where okay, these genes are strong in this animal.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be disappointed with the offspring when I breed it.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Tara. So as we kind of close out, where can everybody find you? We pulled up your Instagram, we pulled up your Morph Market. You have a upcoming website. When's that coming out?
Oh, I did just buy the domain name.
Oh, there you go.
But I went to GoDaddy.com and I bought the as far as I got.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's coming sometime, so keep an eye out there. And then you have upcoming shows. What kind of shows are you working on?
I'm vending Oaks this month. Vending Oaks on the 23rd, I think. So that's in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I have the Flora Fauna conference coming up.
Yay, we'll all be there.
We'll see. I'm on a waiting list for White Plains. I got the table once, and I took it from, somebody had canceled, so I got that table. So we'll cancel again because I'm on a waiting list for that, but it's all right. I got a vacation coming up too, so I can't schedule any other shows in April except for that one. So I'm kind of holding out for that. So we'll see.
Gotcha. So other than that, people can find you on Tara Leigh Cresties.
Facebook.
Facebook. Okay. Do you use Facebook more than Instagram?
No, I post on Instagram, and then whatever goes on Instagram just automatically.
That's what I do too. Because nobody sees it on Facebook anyway. So
yeah.
The funny thing is, the Facebook people, they're more likely to comment. It seems like you get more comments. Like I like to read through stuff, but on Instagram you get the scrollers and they just like stuff.
Yeah.
They get more likes. I like to read the comments.
Man, back in the day, Harry, it was crazy on Facebook. Like you could post a photo of a gecko and it would get say you had 5,000 followers on your Facebook or whatever. Like you get 4,000 likes on a photo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because your whole audience would actually see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they turned on monetization, when they started selling ads, you went from getting full viewership to 1 to 2% viewership.
True.
Oh, wow.
And then you had to pay to gain viewership. But then they have so many restrictions of you can't sell. So it's you're paying to just show a photo of a gecko that's not for sale. So it's back in the day, Facebook was incredible. I mean, the reach of it and the interaction on it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. It was.
But now it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
So you have Facebook, you have Instagram, and you have Morph Market. So everybody go check out Tara, all her stuff, and message her. What's the best way to message you? Instagram or Facebook? Where do you respond best to?
Because I don't know what's going on with my Facebook page. I can't send pictures. I can't send links. I can't do anything anymore. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's something I'm doing. Like I told you, I'm not very computer savvy. So I think that I'm doing wrong, but
Instagram's the way, huh?
Yeah, Instagram.
Instagram's the way. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you, Tara, for your time and for talking with us and spending your weekend morning with us to hang out. Really appreciate you. Yeah, we'll see you at Flora Fauna, right? Any other plugs that you have?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, any other plugs that you have you want to share?
Oh, no, I think that's it. I think
that's it. Okay. Awesome.
Cool. Thanks, Tara.
Thank you, Tara.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys.
See you.